Hi, this is Adrian Declare from Blocworx, and in this video I'm going to take you through how to build your first module on Blocworx, where you start with a blank instance. So what we're looking at right now is a totally new instance with nothing on it yet. So this instance would be for the company that's going to be using it. The first thing we're going to do is add the module to the home page. So we're on the home page now and we don't see anything yet because we don't have anything added. So I'll go to switch to edit mode, and we need a new section first. So we'll just say my modules, and we're going to build a fridge temperature tracker for a restaurant. The idea of this would be, supposing a restaurant needs to check the temperatures of 3 fridges every day. We log that information, we make sure we're happy with the results of all 3, and we'll come up with a way of reviewing that information too. So I'll create the new module. We'll choose main modules. That'll be your default category. We'll give it an icon. We can say this temperature icon and add module. So now that we're in the module, the first thing we're going to do is create some blocks. Again, you need to create some sections. Now you can create blocks without sections, but we'll give it a section. We'll just call it tracking. And we'll do another one called reporting. We'll create our first block, track temperatures. And we'll put it in the tracking block. And we'll come back to the reporting later. So now we're going into a block, and we will choose the full width view. We'll add a new row, and we will create 4 third size elements. So I'll create we'll say fridge number 1. I'm going to duplicate this to save me some time. Duplicate this and move it into the third one. We'll create a new row, and we'll just say we'll use what's called a plain data field. So we'll say result. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the temperatures all have to be within a certain value for the result to be pass. To achieve this, we're going to use a feature called a conditional value. So I'm going to hover over result and click on parameters and scroll down to conditional value. Enter resulting value when all fields equal expected values. So we're going to say the resulting value is pass. Or we'll be more specific. We'll say temperatures. Okay. And the resulting value when all fields don't meet, temperatures, not okay. And then the default value is waiting for inputs. So the default one is the one it's going to be before anything happens. Next thing we're going to do is start adding the required values for the fridges of what temperatures they should be. The first thing I'm going to do first is fix the typo here to temperatures not okay. I missed the R. So now we will select the fields. We want fridge number 1 to be between 2.9 and 5.1. So there's an option we can click that we can use between values. We'll say fridge 2. We would like that to be between the same 2.9, 5.1. And fridge 3, we'll say 2.9 and 5.1. We're going to save this criteria. So what this means is all of these cases have to pass before our result is going to say temperature is okay. Otherwise, it's going to say temperature is not okay. I'm going to do one other little thing. I'm going to add some colors. So for temperatures okay, we're going to say that's green. And for temperatures not okay, we're going to say that's red. So now we'll go back to the form. And we'll start having a look at our block. So I do fridge number 1, 2, and 3. All of these are within the bounds. So that's saying okay. If I bring this to 2, it's saying not okay. So we click submit. And we can see our red item down there and our data tracked. I go again, 3, we'll say 4.1, 5.2. But we bring this to 5.1, we're at okay. And we'll do another one, 3, 3, 3. And again, its temperatures are okay. So now we've built a basic tracker just to track temperatures of a fridge and get an overall result. So the next thing we're going to do is build another block, which is basically our overview of our activity in track temperatures. So I'm back in the module editor now, and I'll just say I'll create a block called overview. Select the icon, something like this, basic line graph for the icon. We put it in the reporting section, and I go into the block. First thing I'm going to do is make it full width, and I'll add a row, and then I will give one element inside the row a third size, with the rest being 2/3. So firstly, we'll build a chart field in here, which will give us a chart of what temperatures are okay and not okay. So we'll go to a field called Advanced Chart Set 1, and we'll just say Summary is the field name. Chart height 500, chart width 500 we'll say. And now we'll choose our chart, something basic just for this demo, basic bar chart. So for the x-axis, we're going to choose what we want on the x-axis. These can change based on values in your current block, but we'll do permanent values. So we'll say temperatures okay is 1, temperatures not okay is the other. The next thing we're going to do is actually add the items that we want to count. So now we'll choose the block first, which is track temperatures, our original block. What do we want to do? We want to count the number of values. So we want to count how many temperatures are okay and how many are not okay. The next thing is we'll select the remote field that we're actually going to be looking at. So it's the result. So you remember that was where we were keeping our temperatures okay and not okay. This is for more advanced searching. So if we want to filter it down by more things, we can match them against remote fields. In our case, we only want to just look up all of that information in the result field. Click submit item, click submit. And I'll go back to the front end and I'll just test the chart. And we'll see that we have temperatures okay and temperatures not okay. We have 2 temperatures okay and 1 not okay. Finally, we'll give ourselves another small bit of information. We will maybe get a count of where we get the average temperature of fridge 1. And there's lots of ways of getting different averages and counts and stuff, but for this example we'll do fridge 1. So I'm going to create a button first called get fridge 1 data. The pressed and unpressed value won't really matter because we're going to use this only to trigger rules. So we get to that in a second. The next field I'm going to do is what's called the plain data field, and I'm going to say total temperature recorded. The next field I'm going to do is the total number of entries, and that's going to be a plain data field as well. What I'm planning on doing here is using these fields to get the average temperature. So now I'll do a maths field. So average fridge 1 temp. And we put in the equation here so I can view what fields are available to me. We're going to say total temperature recorded and use a normal mathematical equation divided by total number of entries. Finally, we need to populate these two fields so we can get our average fridge temperature. So I'm going to click on rules and select rule condition, populate another local field with total from elsewhere. I'm going to click track temperatures. Total required is the fridge number 1. And here we're looking for the total temperature recorded. The reason we're doing this is because we're going to divide it then by the number of entries to get our average. So local field to populate, we're going to populate our total temperature recorded field, which is here. This is a way of refining the information even more if we've got more data associated with that column. We're not doing any more filtering, so we're just going to get all records. Click submit. Now I'll do another rule to get the total number of entries. So track temperatures, we'll pick fridge number 1, and we'll get local field to populate is total number of entries. We want to count the number of values this time. So the other one was to count the numeric total value in terms of we were going to add up temperatures in the other one, whereas this time we're counting the number of times it was entered. Click submit. I'm just going to do one more thing. I'm going to make a parameter here on our average fridge temperature. We'll make it a numeric field, which will default to 2 decimal places. And now we'll go back and we will click this button. And here we see total temperature recorded, total number of entries, and the average fridge temperature. And on this side, we have our graph for the amount that are okay and not okay. Finally, we can also switch to skin just to see what it might look like from a lighter skin point of view. Some people prefer the bright one, some people prefer the dark one. Overall, that's a fairly simple application. I hope you enjoyed watching it and I hope you learned something from it. And if you need any more information, feel free to contact us at info@blocworx.com. Thank you. Bye bye.